This is a Mercedes paint booth in Brackley. They are in a celebratory mood and are repainting their car to mark 50 years of technical partnership with Petronas for the Singapore weekend. On another part of the UK in Milton Keynes, the mood is dull as Red Bull are doing the exact opposite. They are hurting their fans by cancelling their planned special livery for Singapore. The feelings of the tens of thousands of fans who had voted for that livery couldn't matter to them. All they care about right now is saving their season. In 2023, Red Bull launched a fan competition to give their fans the chance to inspire liveries for 3 special races. The problem with special liveries is that they tend to be flamboyant. A flashy livery often requires more paint, and more paint translates to more weight. Last year, this extra weight was not a problem for Formula One's most dominant machine, the RB19. Adrian Newey was still there, the car was flying like a rocket, and they could have added 10 kilograms extra weight on the car, and it would still end up on the podium. The RB20 was a fantastic car in the start of the season, but as soon as Newey's departure was announced, the car has been riddled with issues. It seemed that Newey had designed a car only he holds the secret to fixing, and when he left, he had disappeared with the source code. However, we had thought the problem was a temporary setback. After all, Verstappen has remained close to the podium, and Perez could have gotten a podium in Baku had he not attacked a car that was clearly ahead. But if you believe Red Bull is going to recover from its slump anytime soon, we will encourage you to forget that idea. In the most alarming move yet, Red Bull has released an official statement to scrap a planned paint job on their car, much to the annoyance of the fans. The question on everyone's lips is how much weight would the team save that warrants such a drastic decision by Horner? And in the same vein, does this mean that there is no hope for the RB20? And would Verstappen lose the title? In our research, it was estimated that the typical paint job adds 6 kilograms to the overall weight of the car. But most teams try to keep this number even lower by the excessive use of exposed and unpainted carbon fibre parts on the cars. In the technical specification of the 2024 cars, all cars must have a minimum weight of 798 kilograms excluding the weight of the driver and fuel. What this means is that you don't want your car to exceed that figure. It has been widely estimated that for every extra 1 kilogram over the limit, the cars lose 0.03 seconds per lap. This figure might seem tiny to you, but if you spread that over 70 laps, then you can see the bigger picture. When George Russell's car was found to be 1.5 kilograms underweight in Belgium, the governing body had to strip him of the title because he had gained a monumentally unfair advantage over the rest. The cars need to be right on the cusp of the weight regulation, and Horner has lost so much confidence in the RB20 that he doesn't want to burden the car with an extra 600-gram weight from a revised livery. The Milton Keynes team has announced that due to the extra weight that would have been required for its special livery, it has decided to cancel the 2 special fan-inspired liveries in both Singapore and the United States. The decision to cancel the special liveries is indicative of how serious the situation is at Red Bull with regards to the defence of their titles. Weight has always been an age-long issue in the sport, and in some cases, it has inspired the names of teams. In 1934, Mercedes saved over 1 kilogram on paint. The car was over the weight limit, and they stripped the colour. But at the time, the cars were made of aluminum instead of carbon fibre. By stripping the car down to its bare aluminum, Mercedes exposed the silver colours of the metal, hence where they got the name, the silver arrows. McLaren was not always papaya. If you remember the McLaren of the early 2000s, it had a very unique and beautiful chrome colour. The team had to scrap that colour scheme as the chrome paint was too heavy. Even Red Bull switched from gloss to matte in recent times to save 600 grams. In Red Bull's case, what this spells for the team is an indication that there is no solution in sight for the RB20, and at this point, they are just hanging on to straws. Lando Norris was the first to write off the team immediately after McLaren overtook them in the Constructors' Championship. The Brit told Sky Sports that Ferrari are now their main rival, and they are more worried about the Maranello-based team. We would like to know your position on Christian Horner's latest decision. Is this the end of the road? Leave us a comment. This is Front Lockout, signing off.